Hello, Fight Insight fans, viewers, and listeners. I'm the Filipino podcasting machine, Prince D, and with me, as always, the man formerly known as Timbo Slice, Timmy B. Before we start, please take a moment to subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss a single episode. If you'd like to support the show, check out middaysquares.com and save 15% by using code FIGHTINSIGHT15. On today's episode, we talked to a new ring announcer with an eye for fashion. We discussed Rose versus Carla and UFC Fight Night. Tim, hit it.
I will hit it right as soon as we explain to the fans that we recorded this interview just last week. So we're going to cut to that interview, and then we will come back to talk about what happened with Rose. But Prince, I'm going to watch this interview while getting nude. And by that, don't worry, fans, I mean nude vodka soda. Thanks to these guys. Thank you very much. And Prince, I noticed that you are not wearing ketchup red today.
Yeah, I chose not to.
Yeah, it's not because of what our guest told you about your attire?
Yeah, I've got trauma from that now.
All right, we'll see what we're talking about. Here we go.
Yeah, it's Timmy B, Princey D, Fight Insight. Yeah, that's right.
Our guest today is the youngest ring announcer in the world, and at 26 years young, he's already won multiple awards for his work, including Ring Announcer on the Rise in both 2019 and 2020. An athlete himself, he played Division I football for the University of Northern Colorado, and his professional credits also include being an actor, an on-air personality, a commentator, and an MC. He announced the very first bare-knuckle MMA fight and is currently announcing for BYB, XMMA, Sparta, and Airtight Boxing. You can see, and more importantly, hear him next at BYB10 Biloxi Brawl on May 28th in Biloxi, Mississippi. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast,
Big Mo.
Appreciate that introduction. That was awesome.
Was it?
Thank you guys. Oh, yeah. Hit
What?
all the accolades, hit the history. Well done. Well done.
Oh, no. I'm talking about Prince's vocab.
Well, no, the introductions. I was complimenting you first, and I was going to get to Prince because the introduction is twofold. You have to really list the accolades and everything, and then you announce the name. So that was nice, fellas. Thank you.
All right, good job, and thank you so much.
Receiving end, actually, Will. So I was saying, like, how does it feel to be on the receiving end, to be called out, to be brought in? How does it feel?
It feels cool. I mean, I can see why people like it.
Nobody, the world. I guess the first question really is that everybody thinks they're a ring announcer. Big Mo. Right? Yeah. Everybody thinks they're a ring announcer. You see those memes where people are like in the shower, everybody, doing their jab, cross, uppercut, hook. There should be a meme where like people in the shower are doing their ring announcing. Tell me, Big Mo, why does
idea? It's not a bad idea.
Trademark. Why does everybody suck at it, and why are you great at it?
I wouldn't say that everyone sucks at it. I think people have different styles. What I've said in the past is that there's a difference between a ring announcer and someone that reads names. Basically, how I look at it is if you just get up there and you can speak well and read names off of a card, great. No problem against that. That's fine. I like to dial it up a little bit more. I actually like to entertain. I like to have volume and inflection and different ways to pronounce things and energy and all that kind of stuff. So to me, that's more of an announcer. I've seen a lot of announcers that don't really do that, and they kind of just get up there and in front of the red corner, John Smith. And it's like, I get it, and that sounds fine, but I feel like there's a little bit more that you could do, especially if you're the one has the microphone in front of the crowd, controlling the pace, controlling the energy. Like you can give it a little bit of pizzazz. And so to answer your question, I don't think people suck at it. I just think there's different styles to it. And I think some styles are clearly more effective than others. So
yeah. What a gentlemanly answer, Big Mo. Gentlemanly for sure. Okay, but there are people that definitely try to mimic others. Yeah. Right. There is someone that's famous online on Instagram who is pretty much a Bruce Buffer knockoff. Mm-hmm. His tone, his inflection and all that. It's really just mimicking Buffer. You have your own style. You have your own voice. You have your own charisma. I'm going to get to your look later, but
Okay.
your voice, you have your
Mhm.
own style. So how important was that to you to develop that? And how
It was
how
it-
influential
yeah.
has that been in being successful for you?
It was everything for me. I mean, whenever you want to create a personality, whenever you want to work in entertainment, whatever you want to call it, you have to be unique, or else then you just run into what you just described. That guy, he just copies Bruce, and it's like, okay, like, great, it's a great impersonation, that's awesome, but that's just copying Bruce, right? Who are you?
Right.
And so that was a big thing for me, is I knew that, yeah, I could impersonate Bruce. I could get up there and say the same things and say it the same way and say, I mean, I'd get sued if I said it's time, but I could do the same kind of thing. But that doesn't do anything for my career. I mean, it's weird. I've been called the next Bruce Buffer and that kind of stuff, and that's obviously like an incredible compliment. I'm very appreciative of that, but I don't want to be Bruce. I want to be me. I want to have my own career. I want to have my own brand. Bruce did his. He did his own thing. It's kind of like he was brothers with Michael, and Michael was announcing first. Bruce very easily could have copied Michael. They were brothers and business partners. That easily could have happened. But Bruce said, no, I'm going to take this my own direction. I'm going to do this my own way, and look what's happened. So being unique is everything. It's kind of the whole game, or else you just get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, excellent advice. And so let's get to your look, because I feel like, as important as it is to have that good voice, you have a very distinctive look. And for the people that don't know you, I'm going to put a couple of pictures on screen.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the first one. All right.
I was waiting for it. Where's the Dragon Ball Z announcer? Is that the next one?
No. I just got, so for the audio listeners, I'm showing Johnny Bravo and Max Headroom. You have to be kind of old to know Max Headroom, but here's a real picture of Big Mo in action. This is classic you.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Styled.
And Big Mo, oh my gosh, and your suits, like perfectly tailored, man.
Yep.
You're coming right out of a GQ magazine. There was one, I swear, you had like a full blue suit on with the sunglasses. I'm like, I'm gonna kill that man's tailor. That's not appropriate. I'm recording that, man, right there. Beautiful, man, amazing.
I wasn't sure where you were going with that, Prince, but that was funny.
Hey.
So, okay, so how did you come about your look? Because that is extremely important, man, and I guarantee that is leading to your success as well, because you've got a look.
Yeah, I agree. So that was always a work in progress. So I've enjoyed dressing and wearing formal clothes for a really long time. My father was an attorney growing up, and so he taught me the value of knowing how to dress professionally and how to dress formally. So I've been doing that for a long time. When I got out of college, so when I played college football, I was about 310 pounds. I've now lost about 100 pounds, or about 90 pounds. And so that allowed me to get a little bit more creative with my outfits, obviously, because slim fit clothing and getting in shape and all that type of stuff. And so that was a big one. But when developing my style, I basically looked at it as, okay, like, one, what do I like? Two, what's attention grabbing? When I started my career, I knew that I was way behind, especially because when I started, I said, okay, well, if I'm going to dedicate myself to this, I'm going to aim for the top. If I'm going to be an announcer, and if I want to dedicate myself to announcing, I'm going to try to be the best, or else I'm kind of wasting my time. That's how I look at it. So when I did that, I was like, all right, well, I'm behind now. If I want to be the best, I am starting at the ground level. I'm at the bottom, right? So I recognized that I had to do and wear and dress also in a certain way that, helped me grow and help people understand who I was and catch attention. And that's ultimately how the sunglasses were born. That's obviously a staple of what I do is wearing those. And that's just initially that just started as just getting people's attention. I was the only announcer that wore sunglasses. So that helped a lot of people remember who I was and remember my brand. Obviously now iterations have happened and fashion changes have happened. But what you, and Timmy, I'm glad you brought this up. What a lot of people don't understand, and I actually had this conversation with a couple people that work in clothing for different brands, and I was trying to explain this to them. the ring announcer is the most consistent person on camera during a broadcast of a fight. This is a part that, and I've talked about it before, and I really just, I think that a lot of announcers don't get this and a lot of promotions don't get this. In a 3-hour fight, give or take, the announcer, it's the same announcer for every single fight, pre-fight and post-fight and the introductions. That's the only person that happens for. The commentators are obviously off camera for the majority of the broadcast. The referees switch out, and the fighters are only there for their fight and possibly a post-fight interview. So the ring announcer is the most consistent guy or woman. And with that being said, I'm center camera. I'm usually on camera by myself speaking. And so the point is that the visual component is massively important. It's not as important as the voice, but I think it's closer than what a lot of people think because so many people are visual, right? So many people like to look at things, and the way that people dress will help build their respect. That's why there's so much science into dress and colors and how you position yourself and how you wear certain things. All of that matters.
Yeah, that's very true. Prince, are you taking note here?
No. Listen, are we not going to talk about Big Mo's hair? Like,
I knew you were gonna say it, Prince. I didn't even write it down as a question because I knew Prince would bring that up. The perfectly coiffed hair.
Listen, Big Mo, you got to tell us, like, how do you keep the nice pH balance? Maybe you're born with it. Let's give us some hints here. What's going on?
I think I do have good hair genetics. It's weird because I can't grow a beard at all. Like facial hair for me is a freaking nightmare.
So are you half Chinese like me?
I don't think so.
I've got nothing. Nothing.
But no, I think I've always had good hair, and I care a lot about it. And I don't. And once I find someone that cuts my hair well, I never leave them unless I have to. I don't wash my hair more than probably 3 times a week, just because I've learned that the oils in my hair help it a lot, obviously. So yeah, just take care of it. That's really about it. And genetics too.
So essentially he's saying you're out of luck, Prince. That's what I'm getting from that.
Can I tell you something right now? Like, look, yes. I've got a receding hairline right about here.
Yeah.
It looks like a goddamn hologram. That's how bad it is.
Hey man, at least you got a good beard and you can rock a hat, right?
Oh yeah.
It's all insecurities on hat form right over here. This is the situation. Like, it's, guys, you know what, Mo, I saw you in one event and your hair was just like, I swear I think they had like a fan blowing in the other side because it was just like Mo, I'm serious, man. Look, I'm dead serious, man. It was like this. I was like, what the
Big Mo, we're talking about some fashion advice. And so it is important, man. I do like the sunglasses. That's one thing I think that really is catchy. But I do have to ask you some fashion advice tips here. Okay. I'm going to show you. This is from last night.
I love it. Okay. Oh, I like this. Jeez. I like this.
All right.
So I love fashion, fellas. It's a big, I'm obsessed with it, all that. So,
okay.
Go ahead.
So for the audio listeners,
yep.
And if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, right? Like, come to the YouTube. That's where it's at. So we've got a picture here of Jon Anik, Joe Rogan, and DC. Jon Anik's got a, what do you call that? A patterned suit.
That's a window pane.
Window pane. All right. It's light gray with, I think it's like almost light bluish gray stitching.
Yep.
Joe Rogan's wearing the classic black on black, and then DC's wearing gray with white.
Yep.
I do like that they're different.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes when Felder and Bisping and them come out, they're all wearing the same color. That annoys me to no end. I do want to point out before I remove this so we can see your handsome face, Big Mo. DC's wearing running shoes.
Yep.
Skechers.
Jon Anik's suit looks a little baggy, maybe.
Yep. So no. So
okay, I'm gonna take it away and let you.
Keep it on.
Okay. But we can't see you. But
we got the voice. But
all right.
I want you guys to notice something, and this is big. Like, all these guys are dressed well, and here's why: all their pants taper, all their sleeves taper. It's when you buy clothes off the rack, specifically suits, if they shouldn't fit well off the rack. Like, you should want to take a suit to a tailor at least to get a couple things done. Looks like all three of these guys did this. I think Anik is dressed fly. DC's just wearing comfortable shoes, which I don't blame him. He's been a fighter for a long time. I personally don't like wearing athletic shoes with suits. I think it kind of, to me, just personally detracts from it all. And Joe Rogan's just classic with the all black. It's slimming. It's a good looking group.
Yeah. What about around the body there of Anik? Does it not look a little big? Because it's buttoned up. So to me, I'm a thinner guy.
What it looks like is his jacket. His jacket doesn't look like it's on straight. Whenever you want to put a jacket on, I'll give a little tip to the audience here. Take down this photo. Take down the pic. So whenever you put a jacket on and you button it, what you want to do is you want to take it high from the collar and pull it up as high as possible and pull it down like that. Ooh, careful with the mic. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take the bottom part of your drape, the bottom part of the suit, and you're going to pull it snug. Exactly. And what that does is it shapes it more to your shoulders and to your back, and it actually makes it a much trimmer fit opposed to just sliding it on, because you actually don't have it on completely when you do that. So little tip.
Nice. Man, I always wear a suit jacket when I'm doing the podcast, even though I'm wearing a t-shirt, but that's because it's branded, right?
Yeah,
but,
of course.
Okay, I'm going to do that more. I'm going to fix
Guys,
that
so
up.
quick question though.
Yeah.
What does all three guys have in common? Look at the picture. What do they all have in common? Try and figure it out.
They're all bald.
Oh, not a single hair on each man's head.
No. All right, next one, Big Mo. I'm having fun with this, and I'm glad that you're into this.
I've never done this before. This is sick.
All right, this one. I am showing Charles Oliveira walking to the arena, as they often do. They'll show those video shots, and in this case, he was wearing red glass sunglasses. He's got his classic blondie hair. He's got a very polished white shirt with black tie, and he's got a full red suit. Plain red, full red, Santa red.
Yep. I admire the color coordination. The sunglasses match.
Yeah.
It's only a few colors. I admire that. But the ketchup red is a little too much for me. I would have preferred to see him have other colors that were a part of it, like maybe black stitching or maybe black pocket lining, things like that, to kind of combine it all. So not my favorite from the night. But he did look good. No, it was a little too much for me, in my opinion.
Red's so overrated.
All right, now this is the last one I got. I should have got more, but this is the last one I got. On a scale of 1 to 10,
okay,
I need you to rate the travesty that this is. Okay, so 10 is like an abomination, a fashion faux pas beyond all faux pas. This is a ring announcer I'm going to show. So we're not commenting on the person.
Okay.
But this is when Bellator was in Hawaii. This
I already know
is Michael C. Williams. My God, Big Mo. They had all their...
the show, fellas. I appreciate you guys having me on.
No. Okay, Big Mo has just walked off. He's so insulted by that photo. Is that just like 1 to 10? What is that?
Oh gosh.
My thing is, I hope that there was a reason. I hope that it was like the promotion or the venue wanted them to wear Hawaiian. I hope that there was a reason, but you will never, ever, ever, ever catch me in short sleeves. I don't care if I'm announcing in the middle of the Sahara Desert. It will be a suit. Not a fan of that one. And did he have a necklace on too?
Of course, Big Mo. You got to go big or go home on this.
Puka shells. Oh God.
Okay, so again, for the audio listeners, this is not a podcast you need to listen to audio, especially this episode. It's Michael C. Williams at Bellator in Hawaii when they were there. He's wearing a purple florally patterned shirt with a weird necklace. He looks miserable. All their announced team were wearing Hawaiian shirts and whatever. It just was cheesy. I hated it. And Big Mo, I knew you were coming on in weeks, and I thought, oh my God, what is he going to say about this? So no way in hell. BYB tells you, Big Mo, we need you to dress up in a hula outfit. You're saying, get the hell out of here. I'm walking.
Well, no. No, because I do like being employed. That's why I ain't judging Michael C. Williams. That's why.
But it's tough, right? It's tough.
It's
I mean,
tough.
yeah,
It's tough. I don't know. I think that again, it's when you are placed in a position that the announcer is, where you are representing and you are speaking on behalf of a show that has had fighters that have dedicated their life. They've spent tons of money on production. They have hundreds of employees. They have staff that put it together. They have, viewers from across the world, right? You wear a suit. You wear a suit because I think what's also important about a suit is it's pretty universal for being presentable and being respectful and being, all that type of thing. Like, I don't know a whole lot of cultures that if they saw a suit, they would just like think it's weird. So I think it's also a universal thing, but yeah, no Hawaiian shirts for me, man. Yeah,
it's tough. Now, you do say that we won't catch you in a short sleeve shirt, but on your Instagram, and it's at official.bigmo.
Yep.
I was surprised at this when I caught you not in a suit, but in a tank top.
Oh,
jacked. Big Mo. Did not know Big Mo meant big muscles.
I love the research that y'all did. This is awesome. This is awesome.
Big Mo. So wait, so you were 310 in college.
Yep, I was 310. 310. I think when my last season I was only like 300, maybe 305, but my heaviest was 310. So when I got done, I knew that I didn't want to be that big anymore. So lost weight and crash dieted and definitely didn't do it the healthiest way at certain times. Like, I acknowledge that, but I lost it, and I'm confident in my body now. And like I said, it's opened up slim fit clothing, which is a revelation compared to what I had to wear when I was big. So, but yeah, no, I used to be a pretty big guy. So
yeah, well, big now, but in a different form of big.
Different big, yeah, different big, exactly.
All right, we have talked about all the different suits, the nice suits, the bad suits, the good and the bad. You've taught us how to wear a suit.
Yep.
Different kind of suit. I want to talk about a lawsuit.
Yeah.
The big company that you work for, BYB, and like I said, and the reason why, one of the reasons why we wanted to time your appearance here today was because of BYB10 that's coming up on May 28th.
Oh yeah.
But BYB Extreme Fighting Series filed a civil suit against Triller.
Yep.
And for those fans of the podcast, we had Alexa Culp, who fought at Triller Triad Combat, that event. But they filed a civil suit against Triller, claiming that Triller's Triad Combat concept was an unauthorized and unlawful use of their own patented Trigon design.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's so I don't know much about it. Okay. Obviously, I don't work on the legal side. Obviously, don't work with Triller. But what I can tell you is, yeah, I know that BYB has had that patented. I remember I learned about that right when they brought me on, because the Trigon is a big component of their brand. I mean, obviously, they use the triangle in every piece of marketing. They call it its own thing. I know that they have it trademarked or patented, excuse me. I think they have it patented in, I think, multiple continents too. Like, it's set in stone that it's patented. Yeah. So when I saw that Triller was doing the Triad Combat, I was like, that
interesting.
That's kind of a risky thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so
yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen with it. I don't know how long it'll be pursued. I don't know how Triller's going to deal with it. I have noticed that they haven't really been pushing Triad Combat recently. I'm sure it's connected.
I don't know where that, and sorry, Big Mo, I don't know where that's gone, because they had a very successful event, the first one.
Yep.
And then there's been nothing. And like right after, we had Alexa Culp on, who was a winner there. She was an MMA fighter, beautiful knockout win that she had. And we were saying, like, okay, are you going to go back? And she's like, yep, the next one, I'm there. Let's do this. And then it's been months and months and months and no word. So this lawsuit has to be something about it.
You would think, yeah, you would think. And that's the, I don't know if it was... I don't know if it was oversight on Triller not knowing that BYB had it patented. I'm sure it's rare to have a ring, or I guess this isn't a ring in this perspective, but have that be patented, but it is. And it's obviously very unique, and it's standard of BYB, and it's what they do. So I don't know what's going to happen. Haven't really talked about it much with the BYB side, just because I'm on the media and production side, so it's not really my job. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's part of their logo, right? The
Yeah.
Trigon is in their logo. So, I mean, that's really like it in terms of brand imaging, like that Trigon is them. So you can see why they'd be very protective of that. Just recently, the reason why this is a timely for us to speak about it too, is that a federal court just denied Triller's motion to dismiss the design patent and copyright infringement claims in an ongoing lawsuit. So, and then I read into it a little bit. It's funny. It seems like Triller's lawyers were probably like just grasping at straws to kind of get this thrown out. They're like, oh, but we've got a little door here, and oh no, but our turnbuckles are a little bit different. Like, it was very minute change. Look, it's a friggin' triangle, right?
Yeah, there's no ways to hide it. Yeah,
like
there's only two fight promotions in the world that use a triangle ring, and until Triller, there was only one of them. So
yeah,
like it's not. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see.
Very interesting. So we'll see what happens with that. But for people that haven't watched BYB before,
yes,
right, this is a growing promotion.
Yes,
you're the guy there helping bring awareness to it. What is BYB, and what is the excitement that BYB brings aside from Big Mo?
Yeah, exactly. So BYB is the most violent show, I would say. Definitely in North America. I know when you get back Eastern Europe, you got some street fighting over there and stuff like that. But BYB is as close as you get. You know, there's a vast history with bare knuckle, right? Obviously, you hear about bare knuckles and its origins in the UK and things like that. But you know how a lot of bare knuckles started in America was, you know, what Kimbo Slice was doing. It's what Jorge Masvidal was doing. It's what a lot of those guys were doing. And Dada 5000 was a big piece of that. And, you know, and he's the kind of the original creator of BYB.
Yeah.
And so what it is it's the smallest surface in combat sports. You know, if you are one of those fans that just likes the stand-up game, just likes the punching, all that kind of stuff, then this is the show to watch. There is no getting caught in a corner because there's hardly any corners that get caught into. They're too small. Everything is forced inside. So it's a very, very violent show. I would say I've only announced now 20 or so individual fights for them, and I would say maybe 2 of them went the distance. I would say 90% of them didn't even make it out of the first round. It's very, very violent. It's obviously bare knuckle. It's awesome, and it's a great show. I mean, from top to bottom, the production is great. The media team, I don't think that there is a better, at least that I've definitely worked with, there's not a better media team out there. I mean, when you look at the cast that we have from, I mean, me in the ring, on commentary, you got Benny Ricardo, Mike Goldberg, and Paulie Malignaggi. I mean, that's dynamite. Yeah. Then behind the desk, you got Claudia Trejos and Dave Ryan. You got all 5 of them together. I mean, the chemistry's great. The quality's great. Everything it's just a well-done show. And the fights are great, too. The matchmaking is phenomenal. So I think when you look at, and Mel Valenzuela is the matchmaker. And so when you look at all of those components, like when you look at, okay, well, the production's good. The fights are good. The matchmaking is good. The media team is good. Then what are we missing here? Like, what, you know, that there's no excuse for you not to tune in. So no, I've loved working for BYB. I think it's been really cool. And so yeah, and the Biloxi show is going to be the same thing. It's going to be an incredible show, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
Big Mo, it was a pleasure to have you on our podcast, man. I'll tell you, when we started this podcast, you know, we're researching all different people and stuff. We have lots of fighters on the podcast, but we like to have people from all around combat sports, right? And so somehow your profile hit us, and I'm like, God damn, that's a cool dude, man. Like, living the life, super jealous. Like, we hate you, just so you know. Like, really, like we really do.
I can tell.
Just before we let you go, though, how is life, man? You're in Abu Dhabi. You're all around the world doing this thing. Just briefly, just to really make us mad, how's your life in general? You're happy with this?
And when was the last time you took the bus?
Oh my God. Oh my God. He might not even know how to spell bus anymore. That's how far away that is.
Look, building this career has been incredible. I can't even explain it. You know, when I've talked about it before, but with this industry and with this career, it's very niche. It's very you don't see it very often. Like when I explain what people do, they like can't even like they struggle to like conceptualize it because you just rarely see it. Like I'd say of professional ring announcers that like actual travel for shows and are consistent voices and consistent people, there may be 50 in the world, legitimately.
Oh, that's rounding way up, I feel.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
so the thing is like it's been cool building this on my own, and especially being on average half the age of my competition. It's been unique trying to leverage that in certain ways. For me, my whole goal is I want to help take combat sports to different groups of people, right? I want to grow the sport. I want to be a part of that. I like playing a role. I like having, something that I was able to do to help grow a community, help grow a sport, whatever. I got to experience that in Dubai. I got to help introduce boxing to the strongman community when they had never watched it before. So I was able to do that. And so life is good. Life is good. I'm getting a lot of work. I think I'm proving my value to a lot of promotions. I'm growing. I'm working on new exciting projects. But I think what it comes down to is I don't think there's a lot of other people that work in this industry that can match my work ethic. I'm constantly moving, constantly trying to find ways to piece things together, constantly trying to find brands that I can connect, that I can leverage, that I can find opportunities with. Like that doesn't stop. And so I think, I'm not even close to where I can end up with this. I think I can take this even bigger, and I think I can be the best announcer on the planet. And when I say the best, obviously that's subjective from person to person, but I think I can be the announcer with the biggest platform or on the biggest platform. And that's all. What's cool about that is that's dependent on me, and I'm always going to bet on myself.
Nice, man. And the thing is, you've got a good voice. You enunciate well when you're saying it, even though you're saying it at a loud, pitch and
Yep.
like with your bass and your voice and everything. I can still hear everything. I can still catch every word. That's what's so important to me. And like you said, half the age of most of the people, you can play the long game on this bad boy, right? Like you don't.
I like to push now, but I agree with you.
I know, but you don't need to, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like when people are at their regular day job and their boss, because as you go up, the triangle gets shorter, the trigon gets thinner. There's only so few jobs above you.
Yep.
And if that person above you is like your same age, you're like, well, crap.
Yeah.
Unless this guy wins the lotto, I'm going to be stuck in my job forever. There's nowhere for me to go. I'm just saying, yes, I hope that you achieve all your dreams as soon as possible, but you do have the benefit of youth on your side that will get you there. And in that time, you're just gaining more experience, more, positivity, more publicity, everything.
Yeah. I mean, Tim, you said it. Oh, go ahead, Prince.
And I was just going to say that, and plus the amazing thing about you as well is that you can hit a note only dolphins can hear.
No, my pitch is terrible. No. You don't get it twisted. There's a difference between volume and pitch, my guy. I can't hit high pitch, which I don't think would work for what I do anyway.
I was watching one of your clips and literally like my fish tank cracked. It was like, whoa, what the? Like all the glass.
I take the glass and I opera sing at the glass.
Yeah.
But no, Timmy, you hit it on the head, man. And I think what's been a hurdle for me is a lot of fight promotions. One, they have their guy.
Yeah, have their guy. Yeah.
Oh, I've talked to every fight promotion. I'm never afraid to get told no. I'm constantly networking. I've talked to damn near every single one, and it's from a lot of them. I get answers like, "Oh, well, we have our guy." It's like, yeah, okay. Every brand that I announced for had their guy. It's one of those things as to where. And they kind of just look at me as a kid. I think that there's like somehow that subconsciously plays into it. But what I basically tell them is this: what if I'm better? And they go, well, what do you mean better? And I go, well, I don't necessarily mean subjectively with how I announce, but what if me being a part of your brand helps build it? What if you can utilize me with sponsors and commercials? What if I help with ticket sales? What if I help with merch sales? What if I help with alcohol consumption inside the arena? Like, if I can help with all of those things, then I am no longer just an announcer. I am an asset to your brand. I am something that I can actually help you scale, that can help you create something. And if you don't want that, cool. Like, again, like if you want a guy that just gets up there and reads names, I'm not the guy for you. Hats off. Best of luck to you. I'm an entertainer. I want to entertain. I want to create an atmosphere for people that are there live and remotely, virtually, digitally, whatever you want to call it. And I think that, the brands that have given me a chance to do that, I think have benefited from it, and they're only going to benefit more. So,
Big Mo, listen, I would pay top dollar to sit in one of your interviews.
thank you.
Your job interviews. Can you imagine Tim listening
Yeah.
to this guy? Like, you're hired. I didn't even see your resume. You're on the spot. No reference check. Forget it.
No. Yeah, everything you say, Big Mo, is very important for people to hear for their professional lives and their personal lives. You know what I mean? Like that kind of positivity and what you're saying is exactly the kind of thing that's making you successful and what other people should take away from this podcast to get successful in their own lives and whatever you do. Big Mo, before we let you go, and I appreciate we kept you longer than we thought.
No, this has been great, guys. This is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Is there anything that you want to say to your fans, friends, our viewers, listeners, anything that you want to leave them with before I ask you one last thing? But go ahead.
Well, I don't like to speak on success too much because I don't even think I've hit where I think I can yet. So I actually think if I talk on success too much, I'm kind of shorting myself. But I know I'm going to get there. And when I say get there, I mean grow my platform, grow to be, in my opinion, the best and the biggest announcer in the world. And that all stems from people in the fight community. That all stems from the people that watch the fights. The number one stakeholder, in my opinion, is the fans. This industry doesn't go without the fans. Obviously, the fighters are the fighters. I'm not taking anything away from that, but the consumers of the product, the people that actually pay money and spend time and engage in the sport and follow the fighters and buy the tickets and the t-shirts and all that kind of stuff, like you guys are the ones that really make this thing go. And so you guys are my ultimate focus when it comes to how I announce. Obviously, I want to hype up the fighter. Obviously, I want to be, do whatever the commission wants me to do or the promotion wants me to do. But in my opinion, if the fans are having a good time, we all win. If the fans are having a good time, the sport grows, the promotion grows, everything grows with that. So I want to say thank you to all the people that have supported me, that have given me opportunities. Thank you guys, Tim and Prince. You guys found me and you guys have been talking to me for a while now. I'm glad that we finally found time to get on. But all the guys that have given me opportunities and given me platforms like you guys have to kind of talk about what I do, I'm forever appreciative. So thank you guys.
That's awesome, man. Big Mo, we appreciate you so much, man. You are a friend of the podcast. We hope that you had a good time and that you can come back one day. If there's anything ever that we can do for you, please do reach out.
Thank you.
Before we let you go, do you mind just announcing our podcast for us? We'd love it as a soundbite.
I would love that. Let's see. Where are you guys based out of?
Toronto, Canada.
Toronto. All righty.
It's the north of the U.S.
Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. This is the Fight Insight Podcast.
I think my panties are wet.
On the fly. How'd I do?
Dude, that was freaking amazing, man. We're going to use that. We're not going to pay you a single cent. But as we get big, we will definitely have that. Man, you are such a cool dude. Exactly as I thought. I do still hate you, but just a little bit less. So
comes the territory.
Big Mo, thank you so much, man. Have a wonderful day. All the best in your career and your successes. We will follow you and support you. Follow Big Mo at official.bigmo on Instagram.
Thank you, fellas, and I hope to have you at a fight one day.
For sure. See you, buddy. Take care.
Buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ta-da!
We're back.
Prince, what a great interview with Big Mo.
Big Mo is such a solid guy. I took a lot of pointers from him. I learned a lot from him. And so, but man, like I don't think I'll be able to get the suits tailored just as good as him.
No.
But amazing guy. Wicked.
Yeah, fun guy, man. Great guy. And he has been extremely supportive of us on Instagram with our stories and the reels. We've been promoting this podcast. So if you're here because of Big Mo, thank you so much. We hope you enjoyed it. Stick with us. There's lots of great episodes in our past, lots of great ones coming up. Next week, Prince, this is a really exciting one. We like to hit people from all over the world of combat sports. We have a couple of UFC fighters lined up in June. But next week, Prince, we have famous judge
Mike Bell.
Mike Bell. So you may recall hearing his name when they talk about the judges at ringside under UFC, Bellator, whatever. Normally we hear Sal D'Amato a lot. That's the one that gets in trouble a lot for having bad scores. But we do have Mike Bell next week. Prince, I want to talk to him about a 10-10 round. Did you hear about that during the Rose fight?
No. What happened there?
Oh, okay. So you say yes as if you know?
No, yes, I know.
Okay. During the Rose Namajunas fight, they talk about having a 10-10 round. They're like, oh, this round should be a 10-10. Never in my life have I heard of a goddamn 10-10 round. Apparently, if both fighters absolutely do nothing, it is absolute zero way to tell them apart. You're supposed to give both 10 because it's a 10-point must system, I guess. But we will talk to Judge Mike Bell about that. We'll talk to him about some of the scoring, how that all happens. Send us questions if you want for a UFC judge.
But what if, quick question actually too. What if you're not doing anything? Shouldn't you be
the
9-9s?
No, because it's a 10-point must system. I think that's why. So one person has to get 10. But if you're both doing absolutely nothing, if the one guy gets 10, the other one has to as well. So I think that's the thing, but I've never heard that before. Perfect timing for us to get Mike Bell on.
So you mean to tell me they should have both got 10-10 all the way through?
Yeah. So we'll talk about that in a second. Prince, sponsors, obviously we say at the top of the podcast, Midday Squares. We love them. Thank you very much, Midday Squares. Functional chocolate bars. Sun's out, guns out, your stomach's out. Get thinner. Eat Midday Squares to help save you on calories and all that crap. Middaysquares.com. Use code FIGHTINSIGHT15 to save 15%. And Prince, you got another one.
Yes, I've got another one, Hula Cleaning Services. So contact Hula Cleaning Services for all your carpet, fitness, commercial, and construction cleaning needs. You can check them out, www.hulacleaning.com.
Yeah, you got a disgusting, smelly gym. Go contact Hula Cleaning. If you go to a disgusting, smelly gym, tell the owner, contact hulacleaning.com, right? Tell them that we sent you. Prince, the other thing, and like I said at the beginning, I'm drinking my nude vodka soda. So thank you very much. And friends of the podcast update, I want to give a few things, Prince. Chris Wartime Rios, he fights at Fury 62 on Fight Pass on May 15th. So I will definitely be watching him there. Lupi Godinez murdered it. Did you watch that fight?
You know what? I got straight to the decision. I was actually doing something, but yeah,
Right.
I was like, yeah.
You didn't see the fight?
Oh man, that Saturday was.
Okay, so you did not see it?
No, I didn't see it.
Amazing goddamn fight, Prince. Not only was it an amazing fight, like just her striking, slamming the girl, like literally picking her up and slamming her. Not only that, the commentators were so complimentary. Joe Rogan, DC, and Anik, they were all like, this is the best. Like, this is her coming out. She is ranked after this. She is ready for a title shot. But they were so complimentary of her. Crazy cool, man. Lupi Godinez, friend of the podcast, former guest. Amazing.
Yeah,
Prince, you got to go watch that fight. You
know what? I'm gonna have to, just because of all the stuff that you just mentioned. But I mean, again, shout out to Lupi, Canadian, Mexican. Shout outs to you. She's gonna, bright future. They're starting to like her. She's more opportunities there. Who knows? Even promotion. Might see her in more posters.
Can I also say, Prince, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way or anything, but she's looking better too. Like, just her overall look. There's something, I don't know whether it's the sun or something, but she looks good. Like she's very marketable, man. This is not a girl that you need to worry about in the image department. You know what I'm saying?
It might be skincare products. Who knows?
Yeah. Trap Gambino, our good buddy, former guest of the podcast, good friend. Yes. We've said it before, but he fights at High Rollers in a celebrity BJJ fight. May 14th is on YouTube. It's free. High Rollers BJJ. Go check out Trap Gambino on May 14th. Prince, that's it for our friends of the podcast update.
And I gotta say, Gams. We've got a nickname for him, Gams. Listen, Gams, you're looking good. You're looking
Yeah.
solid. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
man.
looking solid.
Yeah.
He's dropped some weight, and he's
Yeah.
he's looking mobile, agile, ready to
Yeah.
go.
All right, buddy. Let's figure out what the hell we're talking about today. We just have a few things to talk about. First thing is, of course, as you said, the Rose Namajunas versus Carla Esparza fight.
Yep.
One of the greatest fights in UFC history. Prince, so much to talk about here. But what were your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I almost fell asleep.
A lot of people did fall asleep. They said that they missed the main event because they fell asleep while watching. I could not fall asleep because I pay for the pay-per-views. So I'm not going to fall asleep and miss it. Anyone that says they fell asleep, they were streaming, fuckers.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah.
You know what? Honestly, for me, like that fight, I was expecting, everyone firing from both cylinders. I thought Carla was going to go in there and just trade shots. They're going to go down to the ground, but it was just really, they were like kind of, feeling each other out. But usually you do that through the first round, but then they pushed it all the way through. I was just like, what's going on over here? And even some of the people that were talking with me during the fight, they're like, man, Carla didn't do enough. I think she lost. And bam.
Really?
Yeah.
No, man. I had it that she was winning. Like, I bet on her. And I had her winning. I had her winning the first 2 rounds. I think I thought she lost the third, and then she won the fourth.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know what?
I thought she had won, man. I thought she did enough to win. I know she didn't win the last round, unfortunately. Go ahead.
But you know what? For me, I mean, listen, I was glad she won because I had my money on her. But even talking about that card, I mean, the next, the Oliveira and Justin fight in itself. There you go. Like that was very, very, very disappointing.
It's crazy. Now, Prince, we went to our Instagram and we have a thread that is going crazy. We had Marshall Inu on the podcast before, and they talked about their fighter bonuses, right?
Yep.
And they talked about how Crypto.com copied them and is now giving out fighter bonuses. Okay. Crypto.com came out with their bonuses of the night, 3 bonuses, 30,000 to the first, 20,000, then 10. The winner of the Crypto.com bonus, Rose Namajunas.
Love Rose. Yay.
Prince, what kind of morons are voting for Rose? Now, the problem is this comes up. Is this a popularity contest? Like, what is this now that Rose deserves 30,000 on top of the $900,000+ she got for that fight?
Yep.
She has publicly come out and said, I apologize for my performance. It was a terrible performance. I apologize. Mm-hmm. Then she has $30,000 from the fans. What do you think about that?
One word. Bots. Thank you very much.
Hold on. We haven't even talked about that. You think that's bots?
Like, who else would have the right mind to pick Rose? Like, that was insane. Like, the Chandler fight was pretty good. Like, you could have done that. I mean, the Oliveira fight, it was short.
Well, it's not the fight. It's the performer.
Sorry, the performer.
Okay.
Yeah, right. Like, even the Oliveira fight, that could have gone easily that way too. But again, I don't get it. To me, I think there's an inner working we don't know about. Again, for me,
that's so fun. It's so funny that you say it's bots, because I had one other person say that they thought that it was that too. They go, someone must have added bots to vote for her. Here's a picture from the Crypto.com website that shows the 3 winners for UFC 274. It's Rose Namajunas, Michael Chandler, and Charles Oliveira. Yep. So the other 2 gentlemen, of course, deserving. I thought Lupe Godinez deserved it. Andre Fialho may have deserved it. He had a crazy knockout. People way more deserving than Rose. It brings into question, what the hell is this? Yeah. Now, Marshall Inu has their Marshall of the Night bonus, which also is 3 fighters to win. Prince, that voting just went down last night, and they have not yet released the winners. I reached out to Marshall Inu, and I wanted to ask them for a comment on the Crypto.com bonuses. Yep. And or if they didn't want to speak to that, I was asking, what are you guys going to do about the bonus? What happens if someone fudges the voting to give someone that truly doesn't deserve it? They did not answer. So I want to see who their votes are. I'm just refreshing the site now. It's at marshallinu.com/MOTN for Marshal of the Night. It says that the winners will be announced soon. So the voting is over. I did vote for Lupi Godinez. We will see what happens. But if Marshall Inu ends up giving money to Rose too, it's a real problem with this voting system then.
Yeah, it's completely twisted. It doesn't make any sense at all.
You're really low. I can barely hear you. Just got to talk up. Huh?
No,
So we were having technical difficulties before we started filming this, so maybe that's why. But yeah, you're very low. Anyways, we'll have to see, man. That's craziness if Rose wins double bonuses off both these crypto companies.
why do we even do it in the first place if we know it's not going to go to the right person? Why
Because
don't they just go to the people that are watching the fight, the experts, like say, hey, why don't we, pick somebody?
Because the problem is that fans complain about who normally wins the performance of the night. I mean, that's what we were saying about, that's why we don't think the main event should win and all that, because they always give it to them. Jordan Levitt, he was on our podcast. He says, yeah, it seems like the main event guys always win it. Like it seems to be a bit of a popularity thing amongst the promotion.
Yeah.
So the idea is these companies, crypto companies have, out of their free will, out of the goodness of their hearts, have now given it into the hands of the fans to go, hey, you guys are the guys that love the sport. You make it right. And here we go and we fuck it up.
Yeah, and we give it to the person that totally doesn't deserve it. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better system. They've got to figure this thing out. Just, it's crazy. Like now,
insanity that happens. Insanity that Prince. We'll get to it. We were going to talk about bad coaching. You watched the Rose and Carla fight, though, right?
Yep.
Did you hear the coaching in the corner of Rose? You weren't paying that much attention, you mean, or you just didn't?
I was just so pissed off that no one was.
They weren't telling her you have to go win. They weren't telling her you're losing. Even my wife, that barely watches UFC, she was watching that fight because she likes Rose and blah blah. Even my wife was like, why is she standing there thinking she won? Like the way she was putting her hands on her hips, the way that she was walking around, the way that she was raising her hands, like it really seemed like her coaches were not telling her that she was losing that fight. And like I said, I had her down 3-1 going into the last round. Yeah, 2-1 into the fourth.
And you've got Trevor Whitman in your corner.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
And you've got Trevor Whitman in your corner. That's,
Yeah, brutal. Brutal. It's the worst fight ever.
It was, you know what? It wasn't a good night for that team. It was, you win some, you lose some, and that night they lost some. And there's something that was off that night for sure.
Yeah, I mean, well, what are you going to do? I mean, Charles Oliveira is a monster, so that's that. Prince, let's go on to UFC, Jan versus Rakić.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have for this card, Prince? Is there any fights that you care about at all?
You know what? The only one I'm looking at is the Span fight and the Yan fight. So I'm
Span and Yan.
Span and Yan, and I'm going for Span and I'm going for Yan. I think Yan. I like Yan. Yan's a good fighter. He's solid. Minor setback, but I think he wants to get back into the the championship contender.
Yeah, I do like Span mostly because I do not like Ion Cutelaba. I don't know. He just always seems to have a bad attitude. I think when he dresses, like paints himself green like the Hulk, it's pretty stupid. So I'm not a fan of that. Ryan Span, he's Superman Span, so who's not going to love that? And yeah, I got Jan as well against Rakić. I think Jan is going to take that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Prince, interesting fight down on the main card. Caitlyn Shukaigen versus Amanda Hebas. Do you know anything about these two people?
It's just I'm just glad you didn't ask me to pronounce their last names because that would be brutal.
Do you know anything about this? Okay, Amanda Hebas is number 9 ranked strawweight.
Yep.
She's great, super marketable, got the look, got the charisma. She is 6 wins in her last 7. She has only fought at flyweight once, and that was just to fight Paige Van Zandt. That's because they just wanted two hot girls to fight one another. Okay. And Hebas, being top ranked strawweight, she knew she wasn't going to lose to Paige Van Zandt. So that was a good fight for her. Then she goes back to strawweight and, loses to Marina Rodriguez, then fights Jandiroba and wins. Number 9 ranked. Her next fight is supposed to be against Karate Hottie, Michelle Waterson.
Yep.
Waterson then withdraws. And for some unknown goddamn reason, she's now going up to flyweight to fight Caitlyn Shukaigen, who's the number 1 ranked flyweight. Like, what sense does this make for both fighters? Even if Hebas loses, okay, fine, it's so stupid. But why would you waste your time getting damaged in a fight like this? And then for Shukaigen, what are you thinking? Do you think you get a title shot off beating a strawweight? Like a natural strawweight?
Who just came up.
Who's just coming up for no reason other than she needs a fight? That's the stupidest thing ever. Call Lupi Godinez. Lupi will fight Amanda tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Stupid. This is the dumbest fight. It makes no sense to me what happens in this fight. Like why either fighter takes this fight.
Well, I mean, for Caitlyn, it might be a clinic, right? She might just go in there and just go to town on Amanda. But who knows? What if Amanda pulls an upset?
Sure. And then imagine for Caitlyn, you'd be like, well, why did I take this fight? Like, why are you going to go and fight this strawweight and then potentially lose? It's a lose-lose situation. But I don't know. That's a weird fight, Prince. So I do hope Hebas wins just for the fun of it and just to see what the hell happens.
Caitlyn's coming off of a win as well. So I think she just took it on just to say, hey, you know what? You're coming up here. I'll show you how we get down up in flyweight.
She's not coming off 1 win. She's coming off 3 wins in a row, 4 wins out of her last 5. Like she's the number 1 friggin' ranked, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, buddy, that is craziness. Those are the fights this weekend. Again, this weekend we've got Wartime Chris Rios and we've got Trap Gambino, our 2 good friends.
Wartime,
baby. Prince, anything that you want to say? It seems like this has gone by so quick, man. I can't believe the time flew. But next week we talk to Judge Mike Bell. And Prince, anything you want to say before we go?
Guys, again, follow us on YouTube, subscribe, follow us on Instagram, and listen to us on Spotify as well. You can follow us also on TikTok and Twitter. All right.
If anybody has watched the podcast this long, Prince, they're already done that. I feel like we don't need to do this anymore. If you've watched it this long, it means you love us and you're already subscribing. That's the general idea, right? But what about you as a person, as an individual? How are you feeling? Anything that you want to say out of your heart?
You know what? I'm just glad the weather is getting better. I actually went for a nice walk yesterday. So, for me, it's looking good. It's, we're training outside more and doing all this. So it's, for me as a person, I'm loving it. I'm actually feeling a lot better in terms of, mood. I'm feeling good.
Yeah. Getting some vitamin D in there and feeling happy.
That's it. How about you, Timmy? What do you can say?
I don't want to discuss my personal stuff on the podcast, Prince. So goodbye.
That was a good one.
Yeah, this is not the place for that kind of thing. This is an MMA podcast, Prince. See you later. Bye, buddy.
Peace.
See ya.